Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2023 winter commencement for Milwaukee Area Technical College. I am Sade Harts, a candidate from graduation from the Pharmacy Technician program. Please turn your attention to the arena floor. Now entering and carrying the MATC mace is STEM Pathway faculty member, AFT Local 212 President and Grand Marshal, Dr. Lisa Conley. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the candidates for graduation, now entering the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the arena, MATC distinguished faculty and staff members. and gentlemen, now entering the arena, the Distinguished Commencement Platform Party. MATC deans, members of the President's Cabinet, district board members, our student commencement speaker, Hasna Huzan, our keynote speaker, Eric L. Conley, and finally, MATC's president, Dr. Vicky J. Martin.
President Martin, the candidates are now assembled.
Please be seated. Welcome to Milwaukee Area Technical College's 2023 Winter Commencement. I am Dr. Vicky J. Martin, the proud 10th president of METC. Today, we recognize the graduation candidates who are with us and those candidates who could not join us today. We are proud of what you have accomplished during your time at our college. I want to thank Vice Chairperson Lauren Baker, Secretary Citlali Mendieta Ramos, and Directors Dr. Waleed Najib, Dr. Tina Owen Moore, and Gail Pants, our board members, for joining us. Candidates, after today's commencement, please stay connected to us. Join the MATC Alumni Network and share your accomplishments. It's just one way that your instructors, advisors, coaches, tutors, classmates, and I can learn about and cheer on your future successes. Today is a milestone of success. It is one you reached with tenacity and drive. At the same time, we know many of you had other things to focus on as well: family, work, extracurricular activities, and more. By being here today, you have persevered and succeeded. At METC, we know it takes many people to help graduates finish their educational journey. It takes inspiration, motivation, and support from family, friends, faculty, and staff. Many of your supporters are here today, so please stand and recognize all of them. Graduates, please stand and recognize those who have helped you along the way. You may be seated. I know you are prepared and ready for whatever is next in your career and continuing in higher education. More than 900 employer representatives help us make sure that you have career-specific skills and overall employability skills to succeed. Over 40 of our four-year university partners work with us to make sure your credits transfer so your educational journey can continue. Whatever is next for you, continue to stay in touch and use us as a resource. Our Career Hub helps alumni with job placement too. The author Brené Brown once said, "We don't have to do all of it alone. We were never meant to." So ask for help when you need it. That's one of my biggest takeaways from my own educational journey as the first person in my family to go to college. You have demonstrated to all of us that with the help and the support you need, as well as hard work and persistence, success is always within reach. I wish you a bright future in whatever comes next for you. In accordance with custom and tradition, I hereby declare the winter 2023 commencement for Milwaukee Area Technical College open. Now please stand for the national anthem.
If you're not seated, go ahead and please sit down. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Philip King, MATC's Executive Vice President of Student Success. This graduating class includes more than 700 associate degree, technical diploma, apprenticeship, and high school diploma candidates. We're also recognizing 12 candidates for graduation who have served our country in the U.S. military. These veterans received a red, white, and blue cord from the college. Thank you all for serving our country. We will be proud to call you alumni and owe you our sincere gratitude. At our commencement ceremonies, we hear from a student who can impart the wisdom that only a peer can provide to fellow students. This winter, that student is Hasna Hussein. Ms. Hasna is a student in our Human Service Associate program. As her advisor shared with us in recommending her for this award, Ms. Hasna has already been doing the work of human services since she was 15 years old. In her home country of Malaysia, she worked with local nonprofits as a language interpreter, putting the 7 languages she speaks to good use. Ms. Hasna worked as a research assistant and was even part of a TEDx talk on refugee children in 2020. She came to Milwaukee through Catholic Charities, which was looking for someone with just her skill set to help refugees. Here at MATC, she has excelled, earning a 3.9 GPA while raising a young daughter and working at the same time. She has been on the President's list since 2021. From here, she plans to attend a 4-year university and ultimately work as a licensed counselor serving Asian communities. In applying for this recognition, Ms. Hasna shared that MATC was her best option, providing the greatest student assistance for a single mother, caring for her elderly parents. She said that those challenges, along with being a refugee, made college and a professional education seem nearly impossible. Yet she made it thanks to her pathway advisor and many others. Here, she said she never felt lost and is honored to carry herself as an MATC graduate. On behalf of everyone at the college, let me just say that it is an honor for us to call you an alumna. Please welcome Hasna Hussein.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Dr. Phillips, for your heartfelt introduction. Welcome, Dr. Martin, MATC District Board members, Mr. Eric Conley, faculty staff, families, especially those who are graduating today, to whom I extend my warmest congratulations. It is an honor and immense blessing to have been allowed to share this significant moment with you and to see the delights on faces of those who are receiving their diplomas. That sense of accomplishment, I believe, comes with healthy dose of satisfaction. As I stand here on stage now, I understand how you feel. I wish you all the best in your well-deserved accomplishment, and I hope you and your loved one will have unforgettable celebration today. In addition to being here to witness your pride at graduation, I'm delighted to be here as the voice of a strong, passionate, powerful, and infinite minority who dream with wide eyes. I must confess, writing this speech was more difficult than writing thesis. And believe me, nothing could have been more difficult for someone like me who enjoys sitting there as an audience. As you can see, I am nervous, but I will do my best. My name is Hasna Hussein. As mentioned earlier, I speak 7 languages. I am attempting to add another or 2 for the future. As a single mother from a refugee background, my journey from being born as a refugee to graduate from MATC with associate degree means the world to me and to my mother. This is not a fairy tale journey, but who I am now, it's an outcome of the difficulties my family and I face. I am proud of the experience and grateful to everyone who has been part of it. No complaint or regret about the past should exist because I made it to the present. Actually, we made it to the present. We are all here wearing same cap, same gown, and celebrating same accomplishment to be a productive member of today's society. We all graduate from MATC, which marks a tremendous significant milestone in our life. This is an important turning point in our life, and it should be acknowledged as such. It is an act of both personal dedication and pride. I am thrilled to see some of my professors in this room today. As I embark on my next life phase, I want to convey my deepest gratitude to you. Your dedication and commitment supporting your student in succeeding have left an imprint in me that will never fade away. Thank you so much for encouraging me to strive for ultimate achievement. Since this is the moment I have been always dreamed of, I want to take the opportunity to appreciate one particular person who have sacrificed everything to make me who I am today. Mama, a person who cried with me, a person who accompanied me at night to do my assignment, a person who starved herself to feed me good food. She is everything. Mama, I could never adequately express how grateful I am to you. You have supported me through the worst time and delighted me to the best of the time. I will always thankful for you and to you. I love you with all my heart and my soul. Thank you for being such an astonishing and loving mother and the bestest friend. If I have one wish in life, it would be for you to be with me today, tomorrow, and forever. I love you, Mama. Without a doubt, each person present today has someone who has prayed for their success, their prosperity, their happiness, their achievement, and blessing, saying that I will request those who are graduating today to please extend your applause to those who have assisted us in this part of success. Okay, before you start yawning from my complex speech, I will conclude with a story told by my dearest mother. Don't be afraid of dark. You should not frighten to fail. Don't fear of falling, because the darkness will gradually fade away. Falling is only a stepping stone to a greater success. You will be stronger when you fall because you know the pain. Don't wait for magic to happen. Make the magic for yourself and the humanity. Before I leave my stage, I want to extend my warmest gratitude to Mr. Ron, who is standing all the way back there, for helping me stand here today and prepare myself to present in front of everybody. Thank you, Mr. Ron. Thank you for your patience and attention. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Hasna Hussein, for sharing your reflections with your fellow graduates today on how failure helps guide us towards success. Now, we're grateful to have a keynote speaker who will share his life experiences and advice at this important milestone in your lives. Eric Conley is the Executive Vice President of Froedtert Health and President of Froedtert Hospital, the Milwaukee region's only academic medical center. The hospital is also the region's only Level 1 adult trauma center, and as president, Mr. Conley is responsible for the hospital's overall functions. He also has responsibility for acute care at other hospitals, including Froedtert Menominee Falls, Froedtert West Bend, and Froedtert Community Hospitals. A dynamic leader with more than 30 years of operational and strategic leadership, he has led hospitals to top 10 U.S. News and World Report recognition and other advances in quality, safety, and efficiency. Mr. Conley has also served on boards including the United Way of Greater Milwaukee and Waukesha County, the American Heart Association Midwest Region, the Vivint Health, and he is a member of the American Hospital Association's Academic Medical Center Strategic Leadership Group. He holds a bachelor's degree in healthcare administration from Slippery Rock University in Pennsylvania and a master's degree in hospital administration from The Ohio State University. Please welcome Eric Conley.
Before I get started here today, I just want to give another round of applause for our student speaker, Hasna. Great job. You know, what's really impressive, she speaks 7 languages and what she's come through, but the thing that I'm really, really impressed with, if you look at the font on her words there, it's about a 6. I have like a 25 on my font here because I can't read it without being that big. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, honored guests, families, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2023. I stand before you today as both a proud member of our communities and an advocate for the transformative power of education. As said, my name is Eric Conley, and I have the distinct privilege of serving as the Executive Vice President of Froedtert Health and the President of Froedtert Hospital. And today I am deeply honored to share in this moment with all of you. As we are gathered here today, I'm reminded of a saying, a proverb, if you will, that we use throughout the hospital and this health system. And that phrase is Ubuntu. And Ubuntu means the essence of being human. It means that I cannot be all that I can be unless all of you can do what you can be all that you can be. Today, we see that embodiment of this truth in each and every one of you. You are not just individuals crossing the stage, you are the living testament to the resilience, determination, and collective strength of a community that supports and uplifts one another. Many of you have navigated the challenges of juggling full-time jobs, even multiple jobs, caring for your families, caring for your children, and even weathering the unpredictable circumstances just to be here today, to proudly accept what you worked so hard for, your degree. I share that common thread with you. Growing up in Western Pennsylvania, I understood the value of hard work, perseverance, and the importance of education as a means to break through barriers. It's a journey that resonates deeply with me. You see, I was actually the first male to graduate high school on my mother's side of the family. I was the first to graduate college and the first to get a graduate degree. And I understood the value of education and what it meant to my mother and my family. I also have the distinct honor and privilege, and today speaking, I kind of hold him dear to my heart, as well as my grandmother, his mother, and the mother of my mother. My uncle, Frederick August Kittle, who's a playwright. Many of you know him as August Wilson, and it was really August, Uncle Freddie as I call it, that really is the embodiment of perseverance. As he struggled through most of his life, because he and my mother and their other 4 siblings really struggled poor, very poor, growing up in Pittsburgh in the Hill District. And as Uncle Freddie, as I call it, would just keep writing and working in the community and writing and writing and writing and keep getting told no. He would send his plays off to the Yale Repertory Theater, tens, hundreds of plays he would write and send, and then was told no. And then finally one day, he wrote a play, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and in the hands of a director, Lloyd Richards, who then invited him to the Yale Repertory Theater to begin and go through his plays. And many of you who may know, when he was there, going through the play, one of the actors there, Charles Dutton, kind of looked over at Lloyd and said, hey, that guy over there, he didn't write Ma Rainey. He doesn't look like he can write something as brilliant as this. But he did, and it was that perseverance that embodies many of that here today. See, the thing about my Uncle Freddie is he attended Central Catholic High School in Pittsburgh. And there was a point in time when he, who was actually a genius, brilliant, he wrote a play. He wrote a research paper actually on Napoleon. And when he turned it in and he got it back, there was an A and an F on that paper. And the teacher there kind of said to him, depending on what your answer is, you'll get an A or an F. Prove to me that you wrote this paper. The teacher there knew he had 3 older sisters. So my uncle said, my name is on that paper, therefore I wrote it. The teacher circled the F. So he wasn't kicked out of school, he actually walked out of school. And to try to prove a point, just because he wasn't there the next day, he played actually out in front of Central Catholic High School. No one cared. No one cared. So he spent the rest of his time actually in a building on the University of Pittsburgh's campus called the Cathedral of Learning, a library. And he read, and he read. And as I mentioned before, he wrote, and he wrote. And it's that resilience, that perseverance that led him to be August Wilson, the writer of 10 plays called the Pittsburgh Cycle, 2 Pulitzer Prizes, He's won every award a writer could win, except for two. One, an Academy Award, and the other, the Nobel Prize for Literature. Now, one of the major reasons he didn't win an Academy Award while he was living, was he refused to have anyone else tell his story. So he would tell the movie producers, no, I want to be able to predict and dictate who, so the language can be heard. The language could be dictated in a right way. That's why a movie was never made while he was living. And the other one, the Nobel Prize for Literature, it was rumored that he was up for that Nobel Prize, but unfortunately he passed of liver cancer before that award could be bestowed upon him. I tell you that story because it means something to me about the perseverance, about the working hard and not taking no for an answer. Each and every one of you have faced many choices in your life before you arrived here. During your time here at Milwaukee Area Technical College, and long after you leave, the choices will remain. But here's the difference. You'll leave here with something no one can take away from you. You took the first step and made the choice to invest in your education, not only for personal growth, but as a means to advance your life, careers, and in many cases, provide a better future for you, your families, and your children. Your choices were not easy. They were not made on a whim. They were made against the backdrop of your neighborhood, your family, and your diverse backgrounds, each telling a unique story of triumph over adversity, much like my uncle and myself. I went to college, Slippery Rock University, as it was told. I went there to play baseball. Class was like secondary in my mind. I wanted to play baseball and eventually play in the major leagues. I was fortunate enough to listen to a professor who guided me into hospital administration to take a class. And it was in that class that I started to really enjoy it. A couple of major projects, realized I had some leadership ability, leadership skills. Then I interned and met a gentleman named Wilford Payne. Wilford Payne ran a federally qualified health center right around the neighborhood of my grandmother. And I watched how leading that community health center, being that leader in community, really changed the community, inspired the community, improved the health of the community. And I knew once I spent that time at that health center, this is what I wanted to do. By taking that internship, I saw the challenges of the social societal norms, and I knew how we can break through those. And I am grateful for Dr. Picard, Mr. Wilford Payne, for seeing something in me that really could spark and lead a community. It allowed me to be a leader and a champion of a number of causes throughout my career, a number of causes in our community, making sure that health and well-being of a neighborhood is taken care of. Even since my time here, I'm very proud of several community advances that we've made. One, we have a maternal mobile center that will be hitting the streets here pretty soon in the next 6 months that really addresses not just infant mortality, but maternal mortality in our communities. We're also very proud of 3 communities that we will be rolling out, and I say the we is in partnership with the Milwaukee Bucks on their ownership, the DEAR Accelerator, driving equity, empowerment, and resources in our communities. We'll begin with an initial $600,000 pledge to those 3 communities, with a pledge by the owners to raise $10 to $20 million over the next 3 to 5 years, and eventually another $50 million in order to address the life expectancy gap between Black and brown communities and white communities, which is about 12 years. That's our goal. Another proud thing to say, in fact, MATC has been a long-standing relationship with Froedtert Health. In June of 2022, Froedtert Health established the Froedtert Memorial Hospital Scholarship Fund with a $6 million gift to fund scholarships for deserving students such as many of you out here. The organization's partnered through a work education program with students in the college healthcare, academic, and career pathway at Froedtert Health. So if you see me in the halls, in the hospital, don't be shy, say hi. I'm very approachable, as people say. I will ask you if you're a Steeler or a Packer fan. I kind of know the answer pretty much, but it's okay. I'll allow you to be a Packer fan here today, especially since my Steelers aren't doing too good. But please, say hi. I'd love to hear more about your journey and what inspired you to do what you do. because it takes bravery to do what you all did, to have a vision of where you want to be in 2 or 5 or 10 years from now, face fear head on, and do the work needed to be where you are today. My hope is some young child saw me working at a health center so long ago and knew that when they saw me, a career in healthcare was a possibility for them. Because when we see ourselves and others we admire and aspire to be, we can achieve more. This creates a ripple effect in our communities. So whether you are the first or the 5th person in your family to go to college, you are in fact showing others there is a path to possibilities for success. You are sending a powerful message to the next generation that no matter what your upbringing, your gender, your race, or religion, hard work and determination, great things are possible in industry or your chosen field. So as you step into the next phase of your journey, you will undoubtedly counter challenges. The road to success is seldom a straight line. It is marked by twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But remember this, setbacks are not synonymous with failure. Failures are just lessons. They are opportunities to learn, to grow, and redefine what success means for you. Failure is not the end. It's a stepping stone towards greatness. Embrace it, learn from it, let it fuel your determination, and rise stronger and wiser. So if there's any advice I could give you today, it is this. 1, seek support. Find a mentor or many. Find people to do what you want to do. Learn from them and grow. It may cost you a coffee or 2, but it's well worth the expense. 2, you must be your biggest cheerleader. Advocate for yourself. Always, always advocate for yourself. You may feel insecure at times, whether it's your skill set or lack of experience, but you must start somewhere. Even if the job feels beneath you, you know you will learn something. If not about the job, about yourself. Everyone has to start somewhere. 3, own it. If you make a mistake, own it. If someone is taking credit for someone else's work or taking credit for your own, say so. Say that's my work. Oftentimes, you only have one moment to make things right. 4, ask and you will receive. Be persistent. Keep asking. You must negotiate for yourself. Negotiate the salary you want. Negotiate the work you want to do, the passion project you want to start. Just negotiate. All you can do is ask, and sometimes, most of the time, you'll get what you want. 5, and remember this is important, words have meaning. Use them wisely. 6, be kind. You never know what sort of battle someone is facing. Kindness has the power to change someone's day. You will be shown kindness, and I hope you remember to show it back in return. 7, time is the most valuable commodity we have. Use it wisely. Use it with a person, a purpose, a passion. You never get time back, but what you get to do in those moments will shape your life and legacy. The class of 2023, you are more than a sum of your circumstances. You are the architects of your destiny and capable of achieving remarkable things. The skills and knowledge you have gained here at Milwaukee Area Technical College have equipped you to navigate the complexities of your chosen profession. But beyond the technical proficiency, it is your character, your tenacity, and your ability to rise after a fall that will define your success. As you embark on this new chapter, remember the power lies within your choices. Choose courage over comfort, perseverance over despair, and resilience over resignation. In doing so, you will not only carve a path for yourself, but you will also inspire those around you. May your journey ahead be filled with purpose, passion, and the unwavering belief that you have the power to achieve greatness. In closing, live your life, learn from your failures, celebrate your victories, and never for a second stop trying. I just want to say a big congratulations to the class of 2023, and like my uncle would say, hey, that's how that go. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chantel Bird, the president of the MATC Foundation Board, the college's philanthropic partner that raises funds for scholarships, emergency assistance, and wraparound programs. Mr. Conley, thank you so much for those words of wisdom and just sharing your insights for us this morning. On behalf of the MATC Foundation, I'm here to announce that we are designating $1,000 of a scholarship in your name. Yes, that deserves a round of applause. That scholarship will be awarded to a healthcare pathway student next year. We're also excited to give a small graduation gift to each of our student award winners: the outstanding graduate for the associate degree, the outstanding graduate for the technical diploma, and the President's Award winner. We applaud your academic excellence and extend our sincere congratulations to all of you, the amazing graduates. Give yourselves a hand.
Thank you, Ms. Bird, and thank you also, Mr. Connolly, for those inspirational words. I'm joined up here by our Grand Marshal, Dr. Lisa Connolly, who is also an MATC STEM faculty member and president of our local AFT 212.
Thank you, Dr. King. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the Milwaukee Area Technical College, we are pleased to call forward MATC's Pathway Deans, who will present their candidates.
After that, our associate degree, technical diploma, apprenticeship, and adult high school candidates for graduation will walk across the stage. Finally, and most importantly, Dr. Martin will confer their degrees and diplomas.
Hello, I am Dr. Glenn Matthews, Associate Dean of the Business and Management Pathway. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I am pleased to present the candidates for the degree of Associate Applied Science and Technical Diploma. These candidates have met all the requirements and are entitled to receive their degrees and diplomas. Will the candidates from this pathway please rise and remain standing? Business and Management.
Hello, I am Associate Dean Dr. Josie D. Hartog. On behalf of the Dean of Community and Human Services, Academic and Career Pathway, the faculty and the staff, I am pleased to present the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Science, Technical Diploma, and Apprenticeship Diploma. These candidates have met all the requirements and are entitled to receive their degrees and diplomas. Will the candidates from this pathway please rise and remain standing?
Hello, I'm Dr. Mike City, Dean of the Creative Arts, Design, and Media Academic and Career Pathway. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I'm pleased to present the candidates for the degree of Associate in Applied Sciences and Technical Diploma. These candidates have met all the requirements and are entitled to receive their degrees and diplomas. Will the candidates from this pathway please rise and remain standing?
Good morning. I am Dr. Sadiq Isahaku, Dean of the General Education Academic and Career Pathway. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I am pleased to present the candidates for the Adult High School Diploma, degree of Associate of Arts, degree of Associate of Science, and degree of Associate of in Applied Science. These candidates have met all requirements and are entitled to receive their degrees and diplomas. Will the candidates from the General Education Academic and Career Pathway please rise and remain standing?
I am Dr. Eric Goss, Dean of the Healthcare Academic and Career Pathway. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I am pleased to present the candidates for the degree of Associate in Applied Science and Technical Diploma. These candidates have met all the requirements and are entitled to receive their degrees and diplomas. Will the candidates from this pathway please rise and remain standing?
I am Becky Alsop, Dean of the Manufacturing, Construction, and Transportation Academic and Career Pathway. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I am pleased to present the candidates for a degree of Associate in Applied Science and Technical Diploma and Apprenticeship Diploma. These candidates have met all of the requirements and are entitled to receive their degrees and diplomas. Will the candidates from the MCT pathway please rise and remain standing?
Greetings. I am Dr. Mike Jenkins, Associate Dean of the STEM Academic and Career Pathway. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I am pleased to present the candidates for the degree of Associate in Applied Science and Technical Diploma. These candidates have met all the requirements and are entitled to receive their degrees and diplomas. Will the candidates from the STEM pathway please rise and remain standing?
Okay, at this time, candidates will be individually recognized and presented with their degrees and diplomas here on stage. After the candidates receive their degree or diploma, they'll return to their seats. When all candidates are reseated, Dr. Martin will officially confer the degrees and diplomas. Marshals and ushers, please direct the candidates to the stage. The rest of our candidates may be seated.
Ariana Blunt, Business Management.
Maribel Ramirez Guzman, with Scholastic Honors.
Jaslyn E. Jones, Business Management.
Fatima Yagnam, Business Management.
With Scholastic Honors, Tu Sin, Business Management.
Amelia Mann, Business Management.
Miranda Cherise Gladney, Business Management.
Alex Cose, Business Management.
With Scholastic Honors, Grant Jefferson Gillespie, Accounting, Business Management.
Chiquita Prius, Business Management.
Vanita Ibrahim, Business Management.
With Scholastic Honors, Restituto Glazewski, Business Management.
With Scholastic Honors, Lara Ortiz, Bilingual Office Assistant.
With Scholastic Honors, Abigail Prado Do Torres, Business Management.
Clara B. Mitchell, Accounting.
With Scholastic Honors, Yesenia Valdivia, Business Management. Laisherie Janeria Kirkendall, Business Management.
Lourdes Nanette Santiago, Human Resources.
With scholastic honors, T. Toha Ween, Business Management.
Kristen Ost, Business Management.
Shauna Flynn Wing Kelman, Business Management, Scholastic Honors.
Tasha Thompson, Entrepreneurship.
Alexandria Bell Howell, Business Management.
Donalda Bora with Scholastic Honors, Banking and Financial Services.
Thalia Handy, Business Management.
Angelica Vallaje, Business Management.
Jasmine D. Turnbull, Business Management.
Precious Camellia Wilson, Human Resources.
Erlene East Sharp, Business Management.
Frederick Larry, Supply Chain Management.
Kainisha Staten, Business Management.
Millery Rachel Albaldejo, Marketing.
With scholastic honors, Bernice D. Moore, Medical Billing.
With Scholastic Honors, Iris Vivanco, Business Management.
With scholastic honors, Ana Gabriela Ruiz Velasco, Business Management.
Sarah Page, Business Management.
With scholastic honors, Pat Reek Sims, Supply Chain Management.
Taylor Serena Mack, Marketing.
Litzel Caricia Saavedra, with scholastic honors, Business Management.
McKenna, with Scholastic Honors, McKenna Levesque, Real Estate.
Tailianis Marie de Jesus, Business Management with scholastic honors.
Robert Lawrence Kuski, Business Management.
Carrie Lee W. Sizzi, Business Management with scholastic honors.
With Scholastic Honors, Jolene Bridges, Leadership Development.
With scholastic honors, Alyssa Burlingame, Business Management.
With Scholastic Honors, Kristen Marie Wright, Business Management.
With scholastic honors, Jamie West, Business Management.
Isaac Prado, Business Management.
Rahim Izar from Business Management.
Jose A. Rodriguez, Marketing.
Tiara Denise Watson, Business Management.
With Scholastic Honors, Valerie Gomez, Business Management.
With scholastic honors, Bailey Timish, Business Management.
Ashley Marie Busalaki, Accounting.
Shakayla Anthony, Business Management.
Vicente T. Key, Business Management.
Tatiana Gant, Marketing, Business Management.
With Scholastic Honors, Dayan Vega, Early Childhood Education.
Davina Tate from Nail Technician, Community and Human Services.
Dawn D. Rushing, Nail Technician.
Mary Jane Escobar, Nail Technician, Community and Human Services.
Ebony Brunson, Early Childhood Education.
With scholastic honors, Shapricia Ahmedi, Community and Human Services.
Brenda Y. Negron, Legal Studies, Paralegal.
Sabrina Rose Sigre, Community and Human Services, Legal Studies.
With scholastic honors, Tamara M. Lashley, Child Care Services and Early Childhood Education.
With scholastic honors from Criminal Justice Studies, Keith McDonald.
Jeanette Dominique Jimenez, Criminal Justice Studies.
Jeremy Trudada, Paralegal, Community and Human Services.
With scholastic honors, Sharifo Madar, Early Childhood Education.
With scholastic honors, Marina Gambek, Paralegal, Community and Human Services.
With scholastic honors, Bridget Farrell, Early Childhood Education.
Charmaine Dallas, Human Services Associates.
Shania Janice Anderson, Human Service Associate.
Farhil Jibril, Early Childhood Education.
With scholastic honors, Hasna Hussein, Human Service Associate.
Tiffany Pitts, Human Service Associate.
Antonio A. Oliver, Human Service Associate.
Kiela M. Washington, Early Childhood Education.
Shantiera A. Robinson, Human Service Associate.
With scholastic honors, Dylan John Emes, Legal Studies.
Suzanne Silers, Human Service Associate.
Reniqua Brown, Criminal Justice Studies.
Jesse P. Vale, Human Service Associate.
Jeffrey L. Morris, Human Service Associate.
Jen Agu, Human Service Associate.
Alicia M. Jackson, Criminal Justice Studies.
Erica N. Caldwell, Criminal Justice Studies.
Lee A. Lindsay, Criminal Justice Studies.
Jalen Patterson, Criminal Justice Studies.
With scholastic honors, Hannah Mae Caswell, Early Childhood Education.
Sydney Boo Ovshak, Early Childhood Education.
Abimael Arias, Emergency Medical Technician.
With scholastic honors, Jose Armando Briseno Colombo, Legal Studies Paralegal.
Seth Eby, Community and Human Services, Paralegal.
Got a mother and daughter here. Melissa Demchek, Emergency Medical Technician.
Denise Sue Demchek, Emergency Medical Technician. Oh my God.
Wynn Thuzar Lewin, Emergency Medical Technician.
Granisha R. Reed, Human Service Associate.
Jeremiah James Thompson, Criminal Justice Studies.
Sharika Fache Lipsy Muex, Early Childhood Education.
Triandis Patterson Mukes, Early Childhood Education.
Mackenzie Marie Gordon, Child Care Services.
With scholastic honors, Caitlin Caitlin M. Bailey, Fire Protection Technician.
Liasa K. Grant, Early Childhood Education.
With Scholastic Honors, Jennifer Lee Hacker, Criminal Justice Studies.
Hannah Marie Mijokovic, Criminal Justice Studies. With Scholastic Honors.
Connie A. Smith, Criminal Justice Studies. Roca.
Scarlett Leigh Senda, Criminal Justice Studies.
Melissa Roca, Criminal Justice Studies.
Jack Wallace Salas, Criminal Justice Studies.
Salvador D. Rodriguez, Criminal Justice Studies.
With Scholastic Honors, Cristal Vidrio, Criminal Justice Studies.
Mia Ann Helker, with Scholastic Honors, Nail Technician.
Ali Perla Solinsky, Nail Technician.
Shelly Josefina Estrella, Nail Technician.
Karina Montserrat Fonseca, Nail Technician.
Hazel Carbajal, Nail Technician. Sierra Latrice Brown, Nail Technician.
Ayana Snipes, Nail Technician.
Jaya G. Phillips, Barber.
Ashley Jones, Barber, Community and Human Services.
Abraham J. Xavier, Barber.
Taiji Versi, Barber, Community and Human Services.
Osvaldo Mercado Ramos, Barber.
Naomi M. Harris, Cosmetology, Community and Human Services.
Keziah Addison, Cosmetology.
Devore Taylor, Criminal Justice Studies.
With Scholastic Honors, Taniza Tabbert, Cosmetology.
With Scholastic Honors, Kylie Rain Garcia, Cosmetology.
DeKayla Jones, Cosmetology.
With Scholastic Honors, Karen Itzel Velasquez, Cosmetology.
With Scholastic Honors, Amarani Fernandez Reyes, Cosmetology.
With Scholastic Honors, Azucena Guadalupe Moreno, Cosmetology.
With Scholastic Honors, Jana Yvette Martinez Torres, Cosmetology.
Melody R. Johnson, Early Childhood Education.
Ronisha Nia Jordan, Cosmetology.
Sally A. Yeldell, Human Service Associates.
Tiana Marie Avery, Cosmetology.
With Scholastic Honors, Marika Newby Ferguson, Cosmetology.
With Scholastic Honors, Andrea Salcedo, Criminal Justice Studies.
With Scholastic Honors, Justin Estrada, Criminal Justice Studies.
Derek Freire, Criminal Justice Studies.
Andrew J. Glass, Criminal Justice Studies.
Latoya S. Vans, Early Childhood Education.
Emma R. Urbaniak, Early Childhood Education.
With Scholastic Honors, Yefte Isalane Gonzalez Carrion, Legal Studies Paralegal.
With Scholastic Honors, Ana Lilia Martinez.
Reem A. Bayer. Reem A. Bayer, esthetician.
Liliana Sayakath, esthetician.
Adriana Drury, esthetician.
Sanaya Baker, esthetician.
With scholastic honors, Violet Limon, esthetician.
Passionayu McCollum, esthetician.
With scholastic honors, Sophie Ya, esthetician.
Mao Yang, esthetician.
With scholastic honors, Natalia de Jesus Pacheco, early childhood education.
With scholastic honors, Veronica Olmos, Child Care Services.
With scholastic honors, Loreji Robles, early childhood education bilingual.
With scholastic honors, Veronica Acosta, early childhood education.
With scholastic honors, Shoa Vang, nail technician.
Ashley Wilborn, criminal justice studies.
Gabrielle Lanoy, early childhood education.
With scholastic honors, Claudia F. Castillo, early childhood education.
Lurita C. Rhodes, culinary arts.
Quan J. Crockwell, culinary arts.
With scholastic honors, Whitney T. Taylor, music occupations.
Mariana Ramoni Lampley, culinary arts.
Jessica M. Clay, culinary arts.
Erica Ann Stewart, web and digital media design.
Ashley Moss, e-production.
Leslie Maria Garcia Merides, television and video production.
Katie Banizak, e-production.
Kinsey Jahatin Hykins, e-productions.
With scholastic honors, Tiana Barnes, e-production. Just give us a second. Kaylina Marissa Jackson, baking and pastry arts.
Johnny Moniz, television and video production.
With scholastic honors, Renee F. Craig, baking and pastry arts.
Gabrielle Howick, baking and pastry arts, scholastic honors.
Latricia Miller, baking and pastry arts.
Mandy Shin, baking and pastry arts.
With scholastic honors, Noelia R. Contreras, baking and pastry arts.
Aaliyah Govani, graphic design, scholastic honors.
And Halisa Colon, graphic design. Manuel L. Luna, culinary arts.
Jacil Perez Villa, graphic design.
Nicholas A. Ramos, culinary arts.
Quintrell Boyles, audio engineer.
Nutro A. Ali, culinary assistant and food service assistant.
Leslie J. Trujillo, Culinary Arts.
Samuel Jackson Neha Townsend, Culinary Arts.
Adrian Molly Garcia, Associate of Arts.
General Education, Dom Akeem Claybrooks Carter, Associate of Arts.
Takisa Bari, Tech Studies, General Education.
Lisa H. McGee, Individualized Technical Studies, Government and Public Administration. Chanel.
Jacqueline Rucker, Associate of Arts, Scholastic Honors.
Chanel M. Jordan, Individualized Technical Studies, Business Management and Administration.
Nadia Perez, Associates of Arts, Scholastic Honors.
Penang Tao, General Education, Associate of Science.
Shelley Hugh, Associate of Arts.
Tashandra Knight, Associate of Arts.
Rizik Ali, Technical Studies, Law.
Tajanique Caprice Lee, Individualized Technical Studies, Business Management and Administration.
Elijah Pearson, Associate of Science, Scholastic Honors.
Eric O. Rivera, Associate of Arts. When you hear your name.
Grace Ann Lydia, Associate of Arts, Scholastic Honors.
Michelle M. Johnson, Associate of Arts.
LaCrose, Associate of Arts.
With Scholastic Honors, Matthew A. Terry, Associate of Arts.
Martin Roberts, Associate of Science.
Kendra Rose Matthews, Associate of Arts.
Leonore Rodal Seamstrom, Associate of Science.
Cynthia A. Hanna, Individualized Technical Studies, Education and Training.
Madeline Briganti, Associate of Arts.
Justina A. LeBron, Associate of Arts.
Isaiah Nzimba, Associate of Arts.
Kirsten Marie Larson, Associate of Arts.
Christina Dreyer, Associate of Arts.
Lorena Stokes Peterson, Associate of Arts.
Justin Gordon, Tech Studies Manufacturing.
With Scholastic Honors, Khadijah Atalab, Associate of Arts, Teacher Education.
Jalea Rodell, Registered Nursing, Scholastic Honors.
Adriana Colon, registered nursing.
Shamira Pertu, medical coding specialist.
With scholastic honors, Sharday Unique Hearts, pharmacy technician.
Katrina Wallace, dental assistant.
Zara Adulimi, dental assistant.
Shakira Justice Thomas, dental assistant.
With scholastic honors, Myasia N. Gordon, dental assistant.
Elizabeth Utrunka, dental assistant.
Imani Aliyah Brown, dental assistant.
Taylor Marie, dental assistant.
Gabrielle Allen, dental assistant.
Ben Jarman, Rondo McGee, healthcare with scholastic honors.
Ladell J. Martin, surgical technologist. With scholastic honors, Nikki Churchill, surgical technologist.
Zaria Horton, surgical technologist.
Ashley M. Thiem, surgical technologist.
Sadiqa Fudge, surgical technologist.
Imani Akhtar, surgical technologist. Yamilex Leticia Lozano Hernandez, surgical technologist.
Morgan Terrence, surgical technologist with scholastic honors.
Tamara Wade, physical therapist assistant.
Tiffany Wade, physical therapist assistant.
With scholastic honors, Nina Jenkins, physical therapist assistant.
Caitlin Haseker, physical therapist assistant with scholastic honors.
With scholastic honors, Amanda Marie Friend, physical therapist assistant.
Zariah Sharifi, dental hygiene.
Melissa Saray Torres Garcia, phlebotomy.
Raven Edwards, physical therapist assistant.
Nikhil Hamashirai Shoran, physical therapist assistant.
Jacob Chaika, physical therapist assistant.
With scholastic honors, Autumn Marie Butel, physical therapist assistant.
Ezri Cassell Garcia, healthcare unit coordinator.
Maricela Faruskia, medical coding specialist.
With scholastic honors, Victoria Isabel Kirby, practical nursing.
Angelique M. Dunbar, practical nursing.
With scholastic honors, Pachia Milaudi Toe, registered nursing.
Jadir Rolando Gonzalez Sanchez, dental hygiene.
Audrey Margarita Feliciano, dental hygiene, scholastic honors.
With scholastic honors, Nicole A. Blasek, dental hygiene.
Brooklyn Graham, dental hygiene.
Alexandra Christine Teets, dental hygiene.
Patricia Lee, dental hygiene.
Peyton T. Noyes, dental hygiene.
Jenna Mae Melby with Scholastic Honors, dental hygiene.
With Scholastic Honors, Katarzyna Zablaka, dental hygiene.
With Scholastic Honors, Megan Schneider, dental hygiene.
Nicole Yang, dental hygiene.
With Scholastic Honors, Amy Yang, dental hygiene.
With Scholastic Honors, Sydney Leonard, dental hygiene.
Stephanie Jo Habeck, dental hygiene.
Megan Barton, dental hygiene.
Anna Paulina Cardenas, dental hygiene.
With Scholastic Honors, Doi Ong, practical nursing.
Emily Wallace, practical nursing.
Minata Dumbuya, practical nursing.
Dionysia Michelle Jones, practical nursing.
Kayla Simone Collins, practical nursing.
Elena Hudson, practical nursing.
Destiny Monet Averhart, practical nursing.
With Scholastic Honors, Nakia Jones, practical nursing.
With Scholastic Honors, Hakima L. Peterson, practical nursing.
Miss Sheila Hayes, practical nursing.
With Scholastic Honors, Hilaria J. Guzman, Health Information Technology.
Latasha Cunningham, practical nursing.
With Scholastic Honors, Kausar Hassan, practical nursing.
Sophia Tu, medical assistant.
Janae S. Perry, medical assistant.
Angel Mua with Scholastic Honors, medical assistant.
Fabiola E. Lopez Franco, medical assistant.
Song Nin, medical assistant.
Emily Bear, medical assistant.
Maisie Jane Johannes Korn with Scholastic Honors, medical assistant.
Kelsey Ray Woline, practical nursing RN, educational progression.
Sandra Rogaseshki, healthcare services management.
With Scholastic Honors, Samantha Lynn Gusho, healthcare services management.
Sama Suleiman, healthcare, practical nursing.
With Scholastic Honors, Concetta Tebby, health information technology.
Alicia Schroeder, registered nursing.
Lorena Santabanez Gamino, registered nursing, UW Milwaukee.
Julia Rose Willem, registered nursing.
Hannah Lee Casey, registered nursing.
Chandria Lockhart, registered nursing.
Sean Kostick, registered nursing.
Danielle Lawson, registered nursing.
With scholastic honors, Natasha N. Wigman, registered nursing, LPN to ADN progression.
Natalie Lynn Buchanan Applegate, registered nursing.
With scholastic honors, Kendall Hatterlin Hercraig, registered nursing.
With scholastic honors, Joseph Cady, registered nursing.
Elise C. Anderson, registered nursing.
With scholastic honors, Autumn Cash, practical nursing.
Emily C. Haver, LPN to ADN progression, registered nursing.
Julianne Alvarado, licensed practical nurse to ADN.
Keontae L. Dunson, registered nursing.
Josette Susie Lee Oaks, practical nursing.
With scholastic honors, Jorylyn K. Peterson, registered nursing.
Kiana Sinquin Stanton, registered nursing.
Landria Yvette White, registered nursing.
With scholastic honors, Summer Rose Sauceda, registered nursing.
Ashley Jefferson, registered nursing.
With scholastic honors, Jordana Borum, practical nursing.
With scholastic honors, Diane Ronick, practical nursing.
With scholastic honors, Jacqueline Michelle Huerta, medical interpreter.
Alexa Acosta, medical interpreter.
Sophia Flores, medical interpreter.
With scholastic honors, Abril Jimenez Medina, medical interpreter.
Mireya Ibarra, medical interpreter.
With scholastic honors, Alondra Gonzalez Andrade, medical interpreter.
Edith Victoria Savera, medical interpreter.
Scholastic honors, Diana C. Romo, medical interpreter.
Mariah Espinosa, registered nursing.
Pang N. Yang, healthcare services management.
With scholastic honors, Moshi Yang.
In the manufacturing, construction, and transportation pathway, we have Asaria Noblin, automotive maintenance technician.
Anthony Ponce Alamila, automotive maintenance technician.
Dewan R. Jones, automotive maintenance technician.
With scholastic honors, Shatasha Gatlin, automotive maintenance technician.
Terrence D. Daniels, automotive maintenance technician.
Rishab Narang, automotive maintenance technician.
Pernell Lewis Jr., automotive maintenance technician.
With scholastic honors, Kathy Kincaid, Automotive Maintenance Technician.
Ethan Christopher Pope, Diesel and Power Training Services. John Michael Keepless, Diesel and Power Train Servicing.
Sharon Singh, Diesel and Powertrain Servicing.
Crystal Briseno, Diesel and Powertrain Servicing. With Scholastic Honors, Charlene B. Lee, Diesel and Powertrain Servicing.
With Scholastic Honors, Jorge Alberto Reyes Colon, Automotive Maintenance Technician.
Hervé Simo, Automotive Maintenance Technician.
With Scholastic Honors, Andrea Saldana Marillo, Brick Lane.
David Jakari Crockett, Brick Lane.
Carmel Luis Jacques, Brick Lane.
Ajari Delworth Bailey, Brick Lane.
With Scholastic Honors, Nathaniel Alexander Swain, Welding.
Alejandro Leon, Manufacturing, Construction, and Transportation.
Corey Cawthorn, Auto Collision Repair and Finish Technician.
Ivan Daniel Venancio Reyes, Auto Collision Repair and Finish Technician.
Keonta Morgan, Auto Collision Repair and Finish Technician.
Daniel Quintana Garcia, Automotive Maintenance Technician.
William Edwards, Truck Driver.
With Scholastic Honors, Pablo de Leon Escoto, Truck Driver.
Nathan Gilpatrick, Truck Driver.
MK, Truck Driver, Manufacturing, Construction, and Transportation.
Owen Cheriton, Electricity.
With Scholastic Honors, Jesus Andrade, Electricity.
Peter Daula, Electricity.
With Scholastic Honors, Maxwell Kyle Hoffer, Electricity.
Quinn Joseph Bushinsky, Electricity.
Neil Bausch, Electricity.
William Noah Crary, Truck Driver.
With Scholastic Honors, Ma Ray.
Jose Andres Navarro, Automotive Technology Comprehensive.
Edwin Gonzalez, Automotive Technology.
Michael Robert Madaus, IT Information System Security Specialist with Scholastic Honors.
David Norman Thompson, Computer Electronics Technology.
Micah Billings, IT Digital Forensics Analyst.
With Scholastic Honors, Andrew Noonan, Mechanical Design Technology.
Miroslav Trenanik, Civil Engineering Technology with Scholastic Honors.
With Scholastic Honors, Samantha Lynn Sutter, IT, Web and Software Development.
With Scholastic Honors, Nathaniel Popovich, IT Computer Support Specialist.
With Scholastic Honors, Nucci N. Weber, IT Information System Security Specialist.
With Scholastic Honors, Jason Heredia, IT Web and Software Developer.
Erica J. Koshik, Individual Tech Studies, Associate of Science, Technology, Engineering, and General Education.
Latasha Wilson, IT Network Specialist.
Alham Ali Puli, Chemical Technician. Joseph Sofera, with Scholastic Honors in IT Network Specialist.
Aaron Tauher, IT Computer Support Specialist.
Justin Merle Vincent, Biomedical Electronics Technology.
Danny Chibango, IT Network Specialist with Scholastic Honors.
Shane Anthony Cheeseman, IT Information System Security Specialist.
With Scholastic Honors, Rose O'Neill, IT Web and Software Developer.
Adrian J. Blevins, Civil Engineering Technology.
Will the candidates please rise? Now, by the authority vested in me by the Milwaukee Area Technical College District Board of Directors, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon each of you the appropriate degree or diploma for which you have been certified. Graduates, you may now move the tassels of your caps from the right side to the left. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Area Technical College Winter Class of 2023. To our speakers, thank you for your time and wisdom. To our guests joining us today, thank you for being here to mark this important moment in our graduates' lives. To our newest alumni, on behalf of the entire METC family, we wish you success in the workforce and as lifelong learners. Congratulations. I will now ask our Grand Marshal, Dr. Lisa Conley, and our marshals to please take your positions and prepare to lead the Milwaukee Area Technical College Winter Class of 2023 from the arena. Students, please follow the marshals in order to exit the arena, and family and friends in attendance, please remain in your seats until the candidates have processed out of the arena. The Winter 2023 commencement ceremony is officially concluded. Thank you.